kitchen ain't big enough for the two of us. Which is why Zack is currently filming standing just outside the kitchen in the dining room. My name is Nick Pierce. This is Bone Out the Teeth. Today, we're gonna be making some stuffed poblano peppers. Roll the credits! The poblano. One of the better stuffed peppers in the world, simply because it's a little bit larger than your average jalapeno and less spicy. Not spicy, so you don't have to be a basic bitch getting your bell pepper from the Hy-Vee, but it's got a nice enough kick that you can put it in the oven for about 40 minutes and it mellows the hell out. Sort of like when your parents try weed for the first time and they get off your case about being a theater major. Anyways, unrelated, we're going to be making a series of stuffed peppers today that use Brazilian steak, marinated sriracha orange pork, tuna salad, and finally, because I offered to take requests on Snapchat, which is a horrible idea, I'm going to be making a stuffed pepper inside of a stuffed pepper. Thank you, Jordan. Anyways, let's get to it. First one's going to be the Brazilian Steakhouse. Okay, to start off with the pepper, you cut around the top of the inside, or just slice the top off, sort of like this. This is a faster way to do it. Use your knife to cut through the inside. Go slower than I just did so you don't cut out the sides, that way it won't leak. And then you can get rid of the core, and then the interior seeds that cause a lot of the heat. Now use your knife to gently score the inside of it so you can get that interior membrane out. We don't want to get all insane in the membrane up here. We're going to leave that for whoever sang that song. I'm very much a 2000s person, so I don't know classic music. Zack, you're old as hell. Who sang Insane in the Membrane?
Cypress Hill.
Isn't that a video game with the triangle head guy?
That's Silent Hill.
Oh, fuck. Cut. So what I do for the Brazilian Steakhouse is take Brazilian Steakhouse marinade you can buy from any grocery store, toss 2 miniature steaks in them, and then cover that up with a little bit of garlic powder and then some cilantro that you finely dice and just toss in the pan. We're going to cook this in the marinade for about 2 minutes on each side. It doesn't need to cook all the way through because it's going to cook inside the pepper while it's in the oven. So while I'm having that going, I'm going to start cooking the stuffed pork by throwing this one on here. Make sure you turn your burner on and don't leave it on like last time. Spray down the pan with Pam. Thank you, Zack. Skills, people. Don't try that at home. This is extreme cooking. And then what I've used here is finely chopped pork, food processed orange slices, no peel, make sure you take that off, and then a little bit of sriracha sauce, garlic powder, and onions. What I'm going to do now is add a little bit more of the orange juice on top. That's going to give it something to simmer, and then it's going to let it start to sizzle. We're going to turn that heat up a little bit more, and then let it spread out. And then this will also go for about 4 minutes. Alright, so now they're pretty much finished, so I'm going to turn the heat off on these and just let them cool for a second. Once it cools down, this is ready for packing, and these need to be thinly sliced beforehand. Now I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to make the cream cheese filling for the Brazilian Steakhouse ones. Now for that, I'm going to cut about 1/4 of an inch off of fat-free cream cheese. Now fat-free cream cheese is a little bit stickier to work with than the regular stuff, so you're going to want to make sure that you get it nice and sliced up. The fat really gives you something to like knead around with it. So don't worry, this will stir in well when it heats up. Chop those pieces up and then toss them into a bowl. We're also going to add a nice about 2 tablespoons worth of Greek yogurt. It's going to cut out some of the acid in the flavor in the steakhouse flavoring. Add in a pinch of sliced jalapeno peppers. small spoonful of mayonnaise. I have Vegenaise because I briefly dated a vegan last year, and there's no other way this is going to get used. Never again. And then a little bit of shredded cheese as well. Once you've got all that, stir it together. And then if you want to make it just a little bit zestier, you can add a hot sauce of your choice. I'm not going to do that, just because there's going to be plenty of other stuff that's spicy today. So, now we'll take the steak off and we're going to thinly slice that. Okay, when you have the steaks nice and right here, take the drippings from the pan and stir those in with your sauce as well. Then take your nice kitchen shears that your mom bought you for Christmas because you're a good boy. Actually, wait, no. These ones are purchased to me by my grandma who bought me them for Christmas because I'm a good boy. I'm a very good boy, so I buy tons of knives.
That's like cutting through butter.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Slice thin strips like this. And this isn't a super thick steak, but it's going just straight through like that. That wonderful steam. More flavored steam than a Sao Palau bathhouse. I mean, I've heard. I don't frequent bathhouses south of Venezuela. Got that nice river of marbling in there. With beef like this, if you see the white spots on the inside, that's fat that's just spread throughout, called marbling. The more there is, the richer the meat tastes. So like Kobe beef is actually about 40% marbling, which is the world's most expensive beef, and that apparently tastes the best. I wouldn't know because I make less than $60,000 per year, so I've never had Kobe beef. I'm not a rich bitch. Like Zack said, I'm a broke-back bitch. Now that you have your beef all nicely cubed up, you're going to want to stir that into a larger mixing bowl. Bowls on bowls on bowls over here. And from there, you're going to want to add a couple of spoonfuls of caramelized onions. It's a fork, but don't mind me. And then some pre-steamed rice. You can use the rice. If not, it makes it stretch a little bit further if you're making a large amount of peppers for more than 2 people. So I'm going to use not too much. And then once you have it there, you're pretty much just going to just mix it all around so it's good to go. And then once it's thoroughly mixed, you're ready to stuff your peppers. Stuffing peppers is actually the first name that Smashing Pumpkins considered. It wasn't violent enough for them. That's a solid true fact. So with this, you put your pepper right up to the edge, and then just start spoon feeding it like you would a baby. Not really sure if that's how you feed babies. This is going way faster, I guess, but I don't have any kids that I know of, so I've never fed a baby since my little siblings were born, and that was like 10 years ago, but also moms didn't want me to because I was considered an irresponsible influence, even around a 9-month-old. Get it nice and worked in there. Then you're going to want to put that aside. Put that in the baking bowl for a second. It's full of your sweet, sweet beef. Now we're going to take these 2 completed peppers and we're going to put them on the pepper rack. And then they're going to go into the oven. Make sure you have a little bit of leeway up on the sides, just so it doesn't fall over and spill its contents out onto the tray. We're going to be baking these on my air crisper. You can use a baking sheet or even a muffin tin if you have one. Sets the peppers up nicer so nothing spills out of the sides. Now, for the orange pork ones, we're going to take another chunk of Greek yogurt. Stir that in nice and smooth there. It should look a little bit like sweet potato pie on Thanksgiving if sweet potato pie had chunks of meat and peppers in it. So not at all like sweet potato pie. My family, as you can probably tell, is aggressively waspy, so we don't have sweet potato pie. We have pumpkin pie. I tried sweet potato pie for the first time a couple of years ago, and I am so angry at my upbringing. So little flavor, and yet so much pretension. Anyways, Mama's tried. Now, we're going to stuff this bad boy right here. And just repeat your pepper stuffing. You can always, don't be afraid to get the top a little bit messy. You can always wipe it down later. Got the chunks of pork nice and in there. And then once it's in the top, pack it down. So I'm gonna wipe it off right around the top here. And then it's ready for the oven. Do it with the other one. All right, so what I have here is a homemade tuna salad. I take a can of tuna, a spoonful of the veggies, swirl it together, and then add some chopped up parsley and then some more jalapenos like this. Then we're gonna take another spoonful of the Greek yogurt, toss that in, another couple of big spoonfuls of the rice to stretch it a little bit further, and then the caramelized onions. Once you caramelize onions in the pan, they go from having a nice harsh spice to them to a really sweet flavor that really balances out the flavor profile. And true to form from my old Snapchat days, once I've said the word flavor profile, I am required to take a shot. So we're gonna cut for a second while I take some Svedka. All right, cool. I did not have a big lunch. We got about 20 minutes before I get loose as a goose. We're now going to stuff the peppers with our homemade tuna salad. I call this chicken of the sea peppers because I've come to associate all tuna with that one brand's imaging. Truly, we live in a remarkable dystopia of late-stage capitalism. I'm gonna shove that stuff full. It is already harder to stuff a pepper. Turns out that's one of the first skills to go when you take alcohol. Don't stuff and drive, kids. Or wait, don't drink and stuff. That's the one. I feel like I'm like a Viking holding a drinking horn.
It was kind of the image I had earlier, too.
Yeah. It's like Assassin's Creed Valhalla in this, but just much lower stakes. Oh. The squelch.
I'm really hoping that comes through.
Alright, now the video title says 7 Pepper Prepper. That's the one, right? Yes, we did.
I think so.
7 Pepper Prepper. Say that 3 times fast. But here, because you guys are so great to me, is a bonus 8 pepper. Anyways, what we're going to do now is add in some cubed up chicken, a little bit more of the jalapeno, more of the rice, and then the last little bit of the caramelized onions. And then we're going to stir that in with more of that Greek yogurt. And then top that off with a little bit of sriracha sauce. I love the squelching sounds this episode. Truly very good stuff. And then we're going to take some artisanal soiree cheese with sweet heat peppers. So more peppers. Peppers on peppers on peppers. And then we're going to spoon a little bit of that into this as well. We're going to stir all of this together. And then we're going to stuff that pepper. All right, now that we have all 7 of our peppers, plus the bonus pepper, laid out, we're gonna gently open up the oven and then slide all of them, ow, motherfuck! Oh, right, the heat comes out of the oven, which means the top of it's really hot too. We can cut that out, right, Zach?
We can.
Cool. All right, gently pick up all of your peppers, have Zach open up the oven, and then slide them in here. And we're going to go ahead and bake them for about 45 minutes. So just gently ease them into the oven. Make sure they're pointed upwards so the filling can't leak out. And then 45 minutes later, you're going to have your stuffed peppers. All right, so now that they're finished out of the oven, what we have here is a fully stuffed pepper that's been nice and cooked. I'm going to slice it lengthwise like this, so we can see what's inside. It should be that nice Brazilian steakhouse season. You open it up inside, and you can see all the nice steamed meat that's been connected in there. Oh, you can't smell it from here, but it smells amazing. Let's try out the orange pork. A little bit more moisture in there because of all the orange pulp, but you have like a nice, rich fillet of, is that a fillet? It's a fillet, screw it. Of orange pork. And let's go to the tuna. Clean off your knife first. You got your nice tuna stuffed pepper. And so, boom, these are what the stuffed peppers look like. Oh, and this is the abomination of a jalapeno, bacon, and onion stuffed pepper filled with sour cream. I'm not going to cut this open just because I don't think it is appropriate enough to put on YouTube. It's that much of an abomination against God and man. So delicious. Anyways, that's how you stuff a whole hell of a lot of peppers. Bon appetit.